Tonight, more allegations of foreign interference, this time targeting one of Canada's former federal leaders. Erin O'Toole in Beijing's crosshairs.
China will seek opportunities to interfere where they can.
Renewing calls for a public inquiry. Leaders make their final pitch to Alberta.
The reality is nobody knows what's going to happen in those close ridings. It could come down to who actually turns out to vote.
Breaking down the battlegrounds of a political toss-up. Plus, hamming it up. How three little pigs connected with a little pink piano.
CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo. Reporting tonight, John Venevali-Rao.
Good evening. We begin with the latest on alleged foreign interference, with CTV News confirming Canada's spy agency told former Conservative leader Erin O'Toole he was not only targeted by the Chinese Communist regime, but remains on its radar. Getting us started tonight, here's CTV's Kevin Gallagher.
As former Conservative leader, Erin O'Toole pushed for Canada to take a tougher stance against China.
From the beginning of the pandemic, some of the news and reporting out of China could not be trusted.
Now sources close to O'Toole confirmed Canada's spy agency told the military veteran yesterday the Chinese Communist Party targeted him while he was the official opposition leader, a shocking campaign that continues today.
China will seek opportunities to interfere where they can. And, you know, they have lots of tools at their disposal, technological tools, disinformation.
Wesley Wark is a national security expert. Well, he says it's not clear how China took aim at O'Toole. The implication is serious.
I think Canadians just have to assume that authoritarian regimes like China will continue as it suits them to target Canada and other democracies. And there's, you know, no holds barred from their perspective.
While the intelligence agency wouldn't comment on O'Toole's case, CSIS says it's committed to equipping elected officials to identify foreign interference threats and take measures to ensure their personal safety. O'Toole insists Chinese meddling could have cost the Conservatives up to 9 seats in the last election, though he acknowledges the Liberals would still have formed government. The Ontario MP's sister used to live in Hong Kong, but CSIS assured O'Toole his family was not targeted. Earlier this month, intelligence officials informed Michael Chong Chinese agents were gathering information on his family, along with threats the Conservative foreign affairs critic says he received.
The government needs to act. To not act is to make our democracy needlessly more vulnerable to the threat of foreign interference.
The Chinese embassy calls the accusation purely groundless, adding, "We never interfere in Canada's internal affairs, including its election process." Outgoing MP Erin O'Toole did not respond to interview requests today. Sources say he's still trying to determine what he can share publicly from his confidential briefing, John.
Okay, Kevin in Ottawa tonight. Thank you. Advanced voting has now closed in Alberta as the clock ticks down towards Monday's provincial election, a race considered to be one of the closest in years. With more on the final push, here's CTV's senior political correspondent, Glenn McGregor.
The best chance for Alberta's NDP comes down to one city.
Calgary, how are you?
Rachel Notley rallied supporters this morning where she desperately needs to flip the seats lost to the United Conservative Party in 2019.
We might have some pretty strong support in Calgary.
Polls suggest the UCP is running ahead province-wide and narrowly out front in Calgary, where leader Danielle Smith drew an estimated 2,000 to an event Thursday promoting her local candidates. This election shaping up to be the closest in Alberta in generations.
It's going to be up to those undecided voters, people who haven't decided totally yet where they're going to land. Perhaps in the very vote-rich area of Calgary is going to be really consequential.
More than 700,000 have already cast early ballots in advance polls that ended today ahead of Monday's vote. A strong turnout, despite concerns that Smith's style and past controversial remarks might discourage some more centrist Conservatives from voting at all. Several prominent Alberta Conservatives have renounced support for Smith, but in the final days, she scored 2 blue-chip endorsements from the former Prime Minister.
In this election, there's only one option to protect the economic livelihoods of you and your family. That's Danielle Smith and the United Conservative Party.
And from the current federal Conservative Party leader.
Notley will work for Trudeau and Singh, the NDP Liberal coalition bosses in Ottawa. She'll support higher carbon taxes on your gas, heat, and groceries.
Bringing out people like Pierre Poilievre, like Stephen Harper, that adds to the number of people that, the Conservatives are able to gin up and say, this is why you really need this.
Notley got her own boost from Calgary's former mayor.
There's an enormous risk in returning Danielle Smith. She is someone that cannot be trusted. And I hate saying that. I've known her for 30 years.
Parties are now shifting into get out the vote mode, working the phones to ensure their supporters make it to the polling stations on Monday. Glenn McGregor, CTV News, Calgary.
Some breaking news stateside, where the U.S. President and Republican House Speaker have reached a tentative deal to raise the debt ceiling and resolve America's looming debt crisis. The potential deal would last 2 years, and a vote on it is expected Wednesday. Now to Ukraine, where a top military official has dropped hints that the much-anticipated spring counteroffensive is ready to begin. CTV's Heather Butts has the latest.
A rallying cry with just a few words and a slickly produced video posted to social media by Ukraine's armed forces, sharing the military campaign of troops marching, training, and appearing to prepare for battle. The commander-in-chief said the time has come to take back what is ours, ratcheting up speculation that a long-awaited counteroffensive could be near. Soldiers in the video chanting, "Lord, bless our decisive victory." Despite the video's theme and the commander's language, his post shared no clear details of an impending military operation, one that will rely heavily on the arrival of equipment from the West and the training necessary to use it.
This offensive is going to be mass movement as opposed to small party tasks that we've seen in the last year, so it's quite a bit more complicated and it's taken them longer to get ready for the attack.
Russia's defense ministry says it shot down 12 drones in the last 24 hours over a trio of territories partially occupied by Russian forces. Drone battles near Donetsk continue in eastern Ukraine as the scale of destruction becomes clear. President Vladimir Zelensky today announced new sanctions against more than 200 companies and people linked with Russia, thanking countries including Canada for its sanctions and defense packages, part of keeping the war in the forefront as a counteroffensive looms.
They're trying to keep people engaged on it. I think what we saw was a flurry of diplomacy activities by Zelensky in the last couple of weeks is he's trying to keep people engaged because this has taken a lot longer than any one of us had thought.
In preparation for its counteroffensive, analysts say Ukraine is doing everything possible to keep the pressure on Russia. But the longer it takes, the more time Russia has to prepare a defensive position. John?
And late tonight, word of a new drone attack in Kyiv. Heather, thank you. To Nova Scotia, where a man was shot dead by Halifax police. It happened this morning at a sports field as officers tried to make an arrest. Police were called to the area after a man with a weapon was seen. They say he confronted the officers who opened fire. The type of weapon he was carrying has not been disclosed, while an area more used to seeing children playing was cordoned off for much of the day. The province's police watchdog has been asked to investigate. And a police shooting in the U.S. is raising questions about those sworn to protect and serve. A family is demanding answers after an officer in Mississippi shot and seriously wounded an unarmed 11-year-old boy who called 911 to report a domestic dispute. CTV's Tom Walters has the story.
No justice, no peace. In Indianola, Mississippi, there are calls to fire and charge the police officer who shot Nikala Murray's son.
His words to me was, "Why did he shoot me? What did I do?" And then he just started crying.
In fact, what 11-year-old Darian Murray did was call the police, as his mother told him to, when her ex-boyfriend showed up at 4 in the morning. And Darian was leaving the house, as police told him to, when an officer shot him in the chest, collapsing a lung, fracturing his ribs, and lacerating his liver.
He ran to me. He was bleeding. I held him. I held his wound.
So this makes no sense.
Darian is hard to mistake for an adult, and the family's lawyer says he could not possibly have given the officer cause to shoot.
This boy was unarmed. He had nothing in his hand, so he could not have perceived a threat.
In fact, the officer had no reason to think anyone in the house was a threat. Police already knew the unwelcome ex-boyfriend had gone before they arrived. Now, while family members press for answers, city officials have refused to comment or to release body camera video. But the officer involved, Sergeant Greg Capers, was reportedly named the local department's Policeman of the Year in 2021. So lawyer Carlos Moore wants a federal investigation of the whole force, if the member who shot Darian Murray is really the best it's got.
This man, Capers, is an ever-present threat to the citizens of Indianola's safety. He has to go.
For now, the officer is said to be on paid leave, while law enforcement officials try to determine whether he did anything wrong in shooting an unarmed 11-year-old boy in the chest. John?
And that boy now released from hospital and recovering. Thank you, Tom. Anti-racism groups took to the streets of Montreal today to mark the 3rd anniversary of George Floyd's death. Around 100 people marched through Montreal's downtown, remembering the May 2020 killing of Floyd by Minneapolis police. Demonstrators say black people still face injustices at the hands of law enforcement.
We still have youth, young and grown people, black and racialized, who when they go to the hospital, they're scared. When they go outside, they're scared. When they're driving, they're scared. It's not normal that being black is seen as a crime.
The demonstrators are calling on Quebec's premier to recognize that systemic racism exists in the province. Child abuse has long been called a silent crisis, one that was made worse by the pandemic when schools closed. Now in Winnipeg, a new facility is aimed at protecting those who can't protect themselves. Here's CTV's Manitoba Bureau Chief, Jill Makashon.
It's a new child abuse center that has taken the words sterile and clinical out of the equation.
There's a love seat because our service dogs that we have on site will go into most interviews.
A building with comfortable spaces, a community kitchen, and cultural garden. The new Toba Center, set to open in June, will service a growing need.
We hate that terrible things happen to kids, they do, but we know they can survive if we make it our #1 priority that they do well.
For the first time, all of the services needed to help victims of child abuse will be under one roof in Winnipeg. More than 24 police officers from across the province, social workers, medical staff, all working collaboratively to help children. A center that is needed now more than ever.
So I think now we're only starting to see some of the fallout from pandemic. Eyes and ears haven't been on children for a very long time.
In Manitoba, there are roughly 4,000 child abuse investigations each year, a number many believe is underreported, especially in recent years. Approximately 30% of all child maltreatment investigations in Ontario are a result of school referrals. In 2020, as the pandemic began, reports of child abuse dropped by 35 to 40%, an impact those who help kids are only starting to see now.
As kids come forward sharing bravely their stories that the kids are not all right. They've suffered in silence for far too long and they're desperately in need of help.
This young woman has lived through abuse. We are protecting her identity.
Home isn't necessarily a place that you can go to stay safe.
She found solace in school, but realizes many other children could not.
End of 8th grade when I first disclosed everything, and that's kind of when I started becoming a good student. High school I had good grades, and that was my effort, I guess, subconsciously to take my life back.
She continues to be encouraged by her foster family and the people involved in this project, a new way forward for Manitoba children. Jill Makashon, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Well, coming up, historic damage in downtown Montreal.
We collect those instruments with fundraising through the years with the hospital.
The musical and financial cost of a massive fire. Plus, Alberta's exhausted wildfire crews get some backup. A major fire at a heritage building in downtown Montreal has finally been put out, 2 days after more than 150 firefighters began battling the blaze. And as CTV's Matt Gilmore reports, the process has now begun at the former monastery to assess the damage, both financial and historical.
It took firefighters a full 42 hours. Fire erupted Thursday afternoon inside the historic Monastère du Bon Pasteur, forcing dozens into the streets. By 10:30 a.m. on the third day, small groups of residents were finally allowed back in. But the damage was extensive. Many have had their possessions reduced to the contents of these plastic bags. The apartments here are part of a housing cooperative, and the tight-knit community is banding together.
It's a very traumatic experience.
Music therapist Danny Bouchard was inside the chapel concert hall when the fire started. His choir, Musiard, is a collective of mental health patients. They write and sing songs to build self-esteem and were scheduled to perform later that evening. Bouchard says about half the choir's instruments were destroyed in the fire.
We collect those instruments with fundraising through the years with the hospital, so it's very sad because now I don't know how it's going to be for the future months.
But there is some good news. A priceless harpsichord built in 1772 appears to have survived the blaze.
I'm really happy to announce the instrument was not in a bad shape.
But there is still concern for a $300,000 grand piano, one of the first Fazioli sold in North America. It appears to have been damaged by torrents of water raining down from the roof. Many famous Quebec artists got their start in this intimate theater, and the concert hall director says he's determined to rebuild.
The Chapelle Historique du Bon Pasteur is so important for the young musician. It's important to make a place in our programming to the young musicians.
The fire may now be out, but the recovery is far from over. Matt Gilmore, CTV News, Montreal.
Firefighters in Alberta are continuing to make significant progress in the fight against wildfires, thanks to wet and cooler weather.
We are seeing more intense fire activity on the perimeter of wildfires. We haven't had anything escape any containment lines to my knowledge, and most of the fires haven't grown substantially.
There are still 49 wildfires burning across the province, and officials warn the season is far from over. Hundreds of firefighters are arriving from New Zealand and Australia this weekend to help out. It comes as Ottawa approved an extension of the Canadian military's deployment in the province.
Thank you for being so brave. We appreciate you very much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And after 2 weeks of fighting the flames in the bush, a group of New Brunswick firefighters got a surprise before heading home.
Thank you, firefighters. Thank you, firefighters.
A special send-off from first graders who prepared dozens of handmade thank you cards. Well, still ahead, breaking beauty barriers. The Indigenous woman inspiring a new generation of leaders. We have a profile tonight of a young woman breaking barriers in the beauty community and beyond. For tonight's Indigenous Circle, Atlantic Bureau Chief Creason Adjkate explains how she has more than earned her crown.
First runner-up is Olivier Liu, making Megan Bass our Miss Canada.
When Megan Bask was crowned Miss Canada United World, she wore a red dress to shed light on missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls.
I really wanted to bring that into the pageant awareness, just because I was raised by a single mother and me and my siblings, we did live in poverty.
The 24-year-old mother and entrepreneur made history as the first Indigenous woman to win the title.
I feel like that helps a lot with nerves.
She is now coaching these teenagers to become the next Miss Sebeganegati in their community.
It's so nice seeing young, Indigenous, inspiring, powerful women speaking on our culture and just representing Mi'kmaq people.
She knows how hard and nervous this all is, and she's telling us it's all right, you could do this. I've been there and I'm still doing this.
While rehearsing their performances for the pageant, they toured the local school to meet with students. Hayden Crome is one of 13 competing.
Being here, being with all these girls, I've learned so much more about my culture, my heritage, my language, the arts and the dances. It's really fascinating to see.
Bask credits her mother for inspiring her to give back to the community. Sophia Bask-Denny helped to create the Eskasoni Baby Stork program, a charity organization that helps dozens of mothers in need with free diapers and milk.
I feel like everything comes down to my mom. All the inspiration, everything that I'm doing in life now came down to her, and I just really want my son to say the same thing about me in the future.
From here, Basque will represent Canada in the United World Pageant in Texas in the fall. Kristanachkate, CTV News, Subeganegidi First Nation, Nova Scotia.
And after the break, a barnyard bop. The three little pigs hitting all the right notes. We leave you tonight with the story of a little pink piano that's been proving to be a big inspiration for a band of BC farm animals, especially the pigs, who are hogging the spotlight. Here's CTV's Adam Sawatsky.
Although the little pink piano couldn't be further from Carnegie Hall, one wonders if the anticipation of its upcoming concert at the Beacon Hill Children's Farm feels just as momentous.
They have discovered music, so yeah, they love to play.
And by they, farm manager Claudia Laba is referring to this trio of musical pigs.
There's Poppy, there's Petunia, and there's Punk, because not everyone can be a flower.
While not every piano can be a Steinway, the little pink one has never stopped striving for excellence.
A little girl donated her piano to us.
The little pink piano's first player, who no doubt set high standards for performance before graciously offering it to an aspiring band of chickens.
Animal enrichment, so they actually make it more interesting, playful for the chickens.
Although the chickens attempted to impress the public by appearing for every performance dressed in dynamic feathered stage costumes, not one ever seemed to come close to rivaling the musical talents of a Liberace or Elton John.
They're not as musical, in my opinion.
So, Claudia decided to pair the little pink piano with players who had more potential.
Pigs are somewhat smartest animal.
On lists of the world's smartest animals, pigs regularly rank in the top 5, boasting the intelligence of a 3-year-old human and being more trainable than a dog. And the first time she played the little pink piano, Punk the pig performed way more notes than a flock of chickens.
And they seem to like the idea that it makes sound.
And as Poppy, Petunia, and Punk have grown into teenagers, their musical tastes have evolved with them.
Well, it's freestyle, let's say.
And while the pigs pound out music that's more rock than Rachmaninoff, the little piano seems to be tickled pink.
I think the piano is just happy to be played, being an active part of the farm.
And ensuring that no matter who is performing the soundtrack to Smiles, they're hitting all the right notes. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
And on that note, that's it for us tonight. For Sandy Ronaldo and the rest of us at CTV National News, thank you for watching. Good night, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
CTV National News, Canada's #1 newscast.